those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I am a bereaved heart mom. For those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for a while, welcome back. You guys, I've taken a 2-month break. A few people have asked if I'm gonna keep doing videos or if I was coming back. I'm back. So I needed to take a little break for a while, and I'll talk about that, the reasons why later. But a lot has happened in the last 2 months, so I'm gonna just quickly go over all that because it's been a long time since I've made a video. So when I left YouTube for a little while, it was right after my nephew was born, which was at the very end of August. So yeah, it's pretty much been almost exactly 2 months since I last posted a video. So in that time, Chanel has turned 2. She had her birthday. We had a little birthday party for her. Basically, we just invited a bunch of her friends over that are the same age. Did some of the things that Chanel likes to do, like play with chalk and bubbles. It was a fun little birthday party. So the very, very first weekend in September, or maybe even the last weekend of August, I can't remember, but I had a mental breakdown. I was off of my medication. Right after Cora was born, I went on to Zoloft. I was not doing okay. During those first 2 weeks of Cora's life, I was trying to get used to those postpartum hormones, and seeing her in the state that she was, it was heartbreaking. And anytime we would visit her, I would just bawl my eyes out the entire time. I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything, I wasn't sleeping well. So they put me on medication, and it kind of stabilized me a little bit. But anyways, so at the very end of August, I ran out and I called in my prescription, but it was Labor Day weekend. So I ran out on, I think, Friday or Thursday. And so I called it a few days ahead, but it wasn't gonna be ready until I think Saturday. But because it was Labor Day weekend, the pharmacy that I go to was closed for that entire weekend. So I was without my medication for 3 days. And I think I even did a half a dose on Friday or Thursday. It was at least 3 days that I was without my medication. And it was really brutal. I felt like my brain was buzzing and I had a panic attack. So I went in and I got medication. I went to urgent care. I think that was about the same time or shortly after I had just finally, Cora's passing really, really hit me. I think before that it hadn't really sunken in yet. I don't think I was in denial. I knew that it had happened, obviously. That was when it really, really hit me that she was gone and I was not going to see her in this life ever again. And that really, during that time, it was it just crushed me, and I don't think I was ready for it. So I went back on my medication. 2 days after Chanel's birthday, I found out I was pregnant, but I started bleeding pretty much right away, so I wasn't trying to get my hopes up. But later that week, Chanel saw a cardiologist. And the reason why is because all of my future pregnancies would be seen by cardiology, but Chanel wasn't, because Cora came after Chanel. So I was like, well, all of our future kids are going to be seen. I think we should have Chanel seen too, just to be on the safe side. So I had her seen, and it turns out that she does have ACHD. She has or had a ventricular septal defect. So that's a big hole in the bottom of the heart, and it actually closed either before birth or shortly after. So we got really lucky with her. Her cardiologist was explaining it to me, and either the type of hole or where it was is very, very rare for it to close on its own, and usually they need to have surgery by 6 months of age to fix it. So we got lucky with that, but it's also something that I'm really thankful that we know about. Hi, sweetie. Okay, it's good that we know about it because the way that it repaired itself, it could cause problems in the future. You tooted on me. Thank you. That wasn't very nice. So we got lucky with that. Let's see. Okay, you want to go watch a show?
Okay.
So around the same time that we found out about Chanel's CHD, Cora's marker for her plot in the cemetery came. So that was really, it felt like finally everything was she has like a final place and we can go visit her, and like there's actually something there that we can see her name. And I also planted a rose bush right next to her. Roses were really special to me while we were in Portland with Cora during late May and June. So the roses were in full bloom and they're like everywhere, and it was so beautiful. And roses just remind me of Cora, so I decided I wanted to have a rose bush by her grave. I did that at the end of August, I think, or the beginning of September. So fast forward to the end of September and beginning of October. Like I said, I had found out I was pregnant right around Chanel's second birthday. So, and like I said, I started bleeding. It was still going on. I was still bleeding on and off. So I decided I needed to call my doctor, and I'd been calling like multiple times ever since I found out I was pregnant because I was just really, really concerned. I called finally. I was exactly 7 weeks. I told them like what was going on, and my HCG had been rising but really, really slowly. It's supposed to double every 2 days, but it was doubling about every week to 2 weeks. So it was not, I felt really uneasy about it. And so I called and they told me like, okay, well, you know, you can go in for more blood work, but that's about it. And then we'll see you at your first appointment around 8 or 9 weeks. So I got off the phone and I just felt like I really needed to go to the ER. So I decided to go to the ER. When I got there, when they checked me in, they decided to take me back for a ultrasound right away. So they took me back and gave me an ultrasound. They didn't let me see it, but they took me to my room, and a doctor came in and said, so it looks like you have an ectopic pregnancy. So I honestly was expecting that because of everything that was happening. And so it really wasn't so much a shock to me, but I was terrified because I know that ectopics can be very, very dangerous. It's a very serious situation, and especially if the tube burst, which luckily mine hadn't. And so they told me that, and then they left the room and just hugged each other, and I cried. Even though, like I said, I was expecting it and I wasn't thinking that that pregnancy was gonna end in a baby, it was still really hard to hear that, you know, because it's so final. I still had like a little bit of hope, but you know, I don't know. So they gave me methotrexate, which is like a chemo drug to stop the pregnancy from developing. The next 2 weeks I was bleeding and that was happening, so I was miscarrying. So that we dealt with that. Derek had his birthday about a week ago. I got my new camera, which I'm using for this video, and then recently I also increased my Zoloft, so I went up to 100 instead of 50 milligrams. It kind of makes me not able to cry, and being on 100, I really was not able to cry at all. And it feels like it's just kind of like shoving my real feelings to the side and not letting me deal with it. And I feel like that's not really healthy. So that was a few days ago that I went up on that. Actually, it was about a week ago. But I also was given a new medication just for anxiety, and that seems to be helping a lot. So I'm excited to see how that affects me, and hopefully I'll be able to just like cut back on my Zoloft and just use the other one because I'm not really liking the Zoloft. But anyways, so that is what has been happening in the past 2 months. A lot is going on, but I feel like things are finally a little bit normal now. So, and that's why I'm filming again. And the reason why I stopped doing videos for a little while is it was just a little bit too much for me at the time. I really needed that 2-month break. There was a lot, like I said, like this video says, happened in that last 2 months, and I'm glad that I took a break. I needed it. Also, like half the reason is because I was using my phone to film all of my videos, and it just was not working very well. And so it was just too much for me to try and deal with on top of everything that was going on. So, but I'm back now. I'm hoping that I'll do weekly videos again. I have a lot of things to talk about. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channel for those of you who have. If you haven't yet, go ahead and do that and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications when I post new videos. Anyways, you guys, I hopefully will see you next week.
Bye-bye.